As we turn the corner to 2012, LeadingAge will be guided by a new chair, Audrey Weiner. And brothers and sisters, I have had the pleasure of working with Audrey over the past few years, and I can tell you that LeadingAge is in great, great hands. Audrey, will you please come forward? Audrey, you have answered the call to leadership by the LeadingAge membership. It is a high call and sacred to give your best, so please repeat after me. I, Audrey Weiner.
I, Audrey Weiner.
Do solemnly pledge.
Do solemnly pledge.
To fulfill my duties.
To fulfill my duties.
As chair of the board of directors of LeadingAge.
As chair of the board of directors of LeadingAge.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
With diligence and concern.
With diligence and concern.
For all members and persons we serve.
For all members and persons we serve.
By the privilege granted in me, I now affirm you, Audrey Weiner, as chair of LeadingAge.
Thank you.
For me, I want to say hallelujah. Will you, the members of LeadingAge, pledge your support, encouragement, and assistance to the newly installed chair as Audrey provides leadership and direction in the fulfillment of our mission? If yes, and I'm certain it's yes, please stand and signify your commitment with your applause. All right.
Oh, you were great.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2012-2013 LeadingAge Board Chair, Audrey Weiner.
Thank you. Thank you all for this tremendous honor. This has been an amazing few days of celebration. It is the respect and admiration for the past and the realities of today that make this a daunting and awesome responsibility to serve as the LeadingAge chair. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve an association that continues to inspire, to serve, and to advocate. You, and by that I really mean we, are committed to making America a better place in which to grow older. While it may not feel like it each and every minute of each and every day, we are indeed blessed to have this professional and personal opportunity to make a difference. In my career, I've had the chance to be inspired by the giants in our field. I began in 1977 as a planner at the Miami Jewish Home and Hospital. My task was to create a community mental health center on Miami Beach at a time when the median age there was 64 years. Imagine a time when the federal government encouraged and paid for planning, cared about and understood the relationships between mental health and physical health and quality of life, and was prepared to make an 8-year commitment to a long-term care entity as its sponsor. From there, I went to Hebrew Home for the Aged at Riverdale, and ultimately to Jewish Home Lifecare. It has been my great fortune to have learned from the greatest mentors in our field. Mitch Waif, who, as you know, was the CEO of Jewish Home and an AHA founder at Arden House. I had hoped he could be here with us today as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, But unfortunately, that was not meant to be. Jacob Reingold, Rose Dobroff, two people who taught me what it means to care compassionately. Fred Hurt, who helped me to understand the business of service. Monsignor Chuck Fahey, Dr. Herbert Shore, Dr. Robert Butler, visionaries who shaped aging and leading age, and with whom I was lucky enough to have a professional and personal relationship. Today, the LeadingAge staff, led by Larry Minix, our board, the state execs and the state boards, and the graduates of the LeadingAge Leadership Academy, are among the nation's thought leaders and innovators in aging. We are all fortunate that they are the mentors of today. This is indeed the moment to say how proud I am of Jewish Homes graduates of the Leadership Academy: Marie Rosenthal, Greg Poole-Dayan, Dr. Lori Posner, Nancy Stoddard, and Liz Weingast, our current fellow. A special thank you to the Jewish Home Lifecare team for their encouragement and support, and my appreciation for the privilege of working with and learning from them every day. And of course, endless appreciation and love to my husband for his support of the importance of this work. I agreed to accept the role of LeadingAge chair, knowing that I have already benefited so much from my affiliation with this association. My work on LeadingAge's ethics and workforce task forces helped me to better understand our frontline caregivers and what we can all do to be an employer of choice. Our group created an ethical lens against which to evaluate new policies and tackle ever-present issues, like the cyclical shortage of registered nurses and physical therapists and international recruitment. I was grateful for the opportunity to work with amazing LeadingAge members, including Julie Trocchio, Colleen Scanlon, Fran Kuhns, Mariana Damchik, and Deborah Zare. Each time I listened to a new ASA and ultimately LeadingAge chair say, "You know, I learned more than I could have possibly given," I thought that was part of the mandatory speech. That is, until I began my own visits this past year and saw incredible organizations and committed staff, including those at the Park Danforth in Maine, a mixed-use housing facility with services including a HUD 202, assisted living, and independent housing. Even with some market rate units, each is affordable, and together they represent an innovative continuum of seniors housing in Portland. I visited the Cedars, which was formerly the Jewish Home of Maine, which has redesigned its facility to provide a continuum. Their clear respect of their history, their values, and their traditions was inspiring. As I spent time with our Florida state partner, soon to be LeadingAge Florida, I had the opportunity to visit the East Ridge Retirement Village in Dade County, which was developed by the Lutheran Church in 1962. Their belief, if you are resident-focused, you will succeed, clearly underscores all that they do. And it reminds me of what we all need to do. I saw Palmer House in Miami, one of 15 facilities currently operated by the Archdiocese. This 120-apartment HUD facility is on the grounds of a Catholic church and school where wonderful intergenerational relationships have been formed with the youngsters. And then I got to go back to my roots with a visit to the Miami Jewish Health System. In 1977, they taught me about an organization's responsibility to support an elder's right to choose to remain in the community. They continue to demonstrate that mandate through its leadership in the PACE program in the state of Florida. As Jewish Home Lifecare was learning more about the Greenhouse Project, my colleagues Barry Berman and Joanne Constantino at Chelsea Jewish Nursing Home and the Eddy respectively were so generous with their time and that of their staff. They helped us to understand how this pioneering work, no pun intended, can be adapted to a high-rise in Manhattan with our healthcare union 1199 as our partner. They were never too busy. They were never competitive. They believed, and indeed they did, inspire and serve. Many years ago, when I was a younger professional, the goal of middle managers was to have a paper accepted for presentation at the then ASA annual meeting. In 1985, I was lucky enough to have such a paper accepted for the Los Angeles annual meeting and was astonished at the sheer number of colleagues who shared my passion for care and caregiving. Today, 26 years later, I know that meeting was no accident. LeadingAge is an entity which those before us have created, and we have the responsibility not just to sustain, but to further develop. My predecessors, Wynn Marshall, Tom Slemmer, Peggy Mullen, Bill Smith, Mary Alice Ryan, and Rick Schutt, to name just a few, recognized the power of advocacy and the strength of our members and our staff. To have come to this moment of our 50th anniversary and have clarity of mission and renewed purpose is a testament to them and to you. But there is still enormous work for us to do together. On a structural basis, we have the LeadingAge Policy Congress, an exciting and evolving body whose first meeting was on Saturday, to elevate to the level it and we deserve. We will complete our alignment agreements with the state affiliates by year end. I hope that begins the alignment of our agendas in the most powerful and effective way. We must come together and determine how our field will not just survive, but will change and evolve dramatically if we are to continue to serve the elders of our country. Like many of you, my career in aging services is longer than I care to say. But in that time, I've never seen the environment as challenging as it is today. In New York, every year we would say, that was the worst budget ever, only to say, next year will of course be worse. The state budget would be passed, we would make the necessary adjustments, and immediately start worrying about the next year. I assume that sounds very familiar. But it's different now. It feels different. In my opinion, the very programs which have demonstrated profound impact, like Medical Model Day in California and the PACE program in New Jersey, both of which are in jeopardy as our nation confronts astounding debt and unimaginable political polarization. It is not about program tweaks anymore. It's about whether an entity can make payroll, whether an entire program will have to close, whether our elders will be left without choice about where to live, whether their choices will again be, do I pay my utility bill or do I renew my medication? It will take all of our might, all of our commitment, and all of our smarts to make sure that we preserve the safety net that supports our frail and impoverished elders. Our advocacy to reframe the Class Act and not give up is but one example. I stand here with you to do that, and with you, hopefully more. If we continue to work together, if we continue to imagine the world in which we want to age, demonstrate that innovation creates cost savings, continue to embrace and respect technology, develop our future leaders, establish new business models, and build on the wisdom of those whom we serve, then we will celebrate our 60th, our 70th, and our 100th anniversary, knowing that what we did together was to make America a better place in which to age, and we helped our country to do that responsibly. Thank you for the work you do each and every day.